What's up, Duderinos, and welcome back to another episode of the Game Addicts podcast, a show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am this podcast player, Brando, and I'm a little out of practice. What's up once again, fellas? It's been a few mementos since I've sat down and talked with you, and that's going to change because I'm going to start getting the show back on a more regular release schedule. It's been quite a year for me. I've been keeping busy. I've been doing some podcasting here and there. But I have been neglecting you guys, and I do sincerely apologize. Man, but there's been a lot of news and stuff that's happened in the last couple of days and weeks. So we're going to dive right into that and talk about my thoughts about some of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm doing the green screen thing. It does not look great. I got it as good as I can make it look. My lighting is really only set up for how I had it before. But I'm squeezing this podcast in today. So there's still other stuff back there. I didn't want to clean the room out and then move all the way back in. We got stuff everywhere in this house. And this is the easiest way just to do it. You guys never see any of that stuff, and you're just going to see a little bit of a crappy green screen. Hopefully, if you're listening, you're not going to see me at all. You're just going to hear my awesome voice. So how are you guys doing, guys? I've been doing okay. Oh, man. This year sucked personally, and as I'm sure it's really been a trying year for just right about anybody out there doing anything in the world, it seems. But personally, it's been a hard year for me. Very few things to look forward to. And as the year is closing, there's something very big that I was looking forward to, and that's the new consoles. And well, now we know, and knowing is indeed half the battle. Well, last week, as I record this, it was last week, Sony did their PS5 event where they showcased some cool stuff, man. They showcased some pretty awesome awesome games, and then they finally laid the details in on us. And I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that they definitely revealed, including FF16. Final Fantasy 16 going to be exclusive, console exclusive, whatever that means. To the PS5. Now, is that going to be like the FF7 remake, where you have a temporary exclusive for just the console to go to PC later? And I've heard, the remake probably going to Xbox One as well down the line. But I don't know, guys. It said console exclusive, so also going to PC. So I'm not sure if they got a 100% exclusivity on that or not. That's probably for down the road. But what did I think of the reveal trailer? Number one, I was a little surprised to actually see them reveal FF16. That's one of those things that every single time, every single event, like, I hope we're going to see this, or I hope we're going to see that, And we finally got it. We got FF16. I mean, I guess it was bound to happen one of these times, right? But what did I think? I liked the aesthetic of it. Going back to that old style of medieval fantasy realm type deal that we haven't seen for quite some time. It was that style in like FF9 and 11 a little bit, and 12 somewhat. But, man, no, it looked pretty cool. It definitely is that more live action FF15 style of gameplay. And story-wise, I'm not sure what's going on, and that's pretty the standard fare for Final Fantasy games and the newer generations. It's like, what the hell is in fact going on? I have no idea. If any of you guys have any real idea what's going on, please hit me up and tell me, because I don't know. But I'm intrigued, and that's the number one thing. I'm intrigued. FF15 really irritated me because getting 10 to 15 hours in, and I still didn't know what we were doing or why we were doing it. and who the Empire was, I didn't know. And then, of course, you watch the dang movie, and that's been a running theme here, like on the podcast. Watch the movie first. In order to understand FF15, you have to watch this whole 2 hour and a half movie first to understand these characters and what's going on with the Empire. And then you can play the game, and you'll be kind of caught up to speed. And that's not really cool story design, in my opinion. But I'm intrigued. We don't know when it's going to come out. It probably won't come out for another year at least, probably another year and a half to 2. If I had to wager, probably holiday 2022. Because one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these things that got announced, they said that they're coming out at a certain time. We have to take into consideration the amount of development time per working at home because of this whole pandemic thing that we're going through. It's changed a lot of the ways that people have to work, and so game development might take a little bit longer. And that's something to think about, but pretty cool of Square to just, put that right in there. Hit it right out of the park, right at the beginning. And then we get to see a little bit more, of gameplay for Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is the sequel to Spider-Man on PS4. It isn't a full-blown size sequel. It's kind of like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Infamous Last Light. It's an expansion big enough to get its own release, but not small enough to where it's just DLC. Now, you can talk about, Witcher's DLCs were big and massive, and they were still DLCs. It's all about the amount of time of development and cost and all that kind of stuff that they want to recoup. So I'm not here to pick those flowers here. What do I think of the gameplay? It looks like Spider-Man. It looks awesome. I'm excited to see what's going on with this story. Apparently, his mom's running for city council. This whole background story. There's a new villain, the Tinkerer. You would think that I would know a little bit more about that, but I do not. I don't know a darn thing about that villain, and it's really cool. Showcasing some of Miles's new abilities and whatnot. And also, this game is coming out for the PS4. That is a new thing. We originally thought it was only going to be coming out on the PS5. In fact, that's what was originally slated. But no, it's coming out on the PS4. But the version on the PS5, excuse me, I'm putting myself to sleep already. Hopefully you guys are not falling asleep. The version of the PS5 is obviously going to run a lot better, smoother, faster. Going to be suited for that architecture. But if you buy the PS4 version, and I may be completely wrong about this. If I am completely wrong about this, please message me and let me know. Because this is how I understand it. If I buy the PS4 version of Spider-Man Miles Morales, when you put it into your PS5, it will download the PS5 version. I don't know if that is true. In fact, I thought I retweeted Insomniac Games saying that, but then I came around to someone's impostering in Insomniac Games. I'm hoping that is the case, because if Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be $50, for $70, you also get, now this is on the PS5, mind you, for $70 you get Miles Morales plus the entire previous Spider-Man game on the PS4 remastered for the PS5. So they've rebuilt some things from the ground up. It's running on the new architecture. Apparently, some new models have been made for the game. Some good mirrors and shadows and ray tracing, all that fancy crap, right? So that's not necessarily a bad deal. I do have the original game. I never got the DLC, the Game of the Year DLC or the Season Pass. Easy for me to think about and say. I didn't get any of that until probably around a year ago. I got it on sale. It's like $12. So if I'm going to buy the game, I'm going to buy that one, because apparently they're not planning on releasing a physical Spider-Man remastered for the original game. I imagine it may come down the line, but for right now, it's only going to be digital. So Miles Morales looked pretty cool. I'm excited. Some of that stuff that they did that showcase was true Spider-Man-esque. And I'm excited to see more of that game. Then they showed us Hogwarts Legacy, this Harry Potter game, like 60 episodes ago. Me and Mike were talking about this rumored Harry Potter game from WB. What's it going to be? And now we know it's going to be set in the late 1800s in the Harry Potter world, and you're going to go to Hogwarts, create a character. I assume you create a character, and you're going to roam around, do classes, and go explore. And there's going to be this whole story to go through. That's going to be pretty neat. I heard that's coming to PS4 as well. I don't know for sure, but that's supposed to be coming out next year in 2021 sometime. So that's super exciting. Also, Portkey Games, that's the name of the company that's doing it. Portkey, right? They for some reason, not for some reason. I know the reason, but it's a sad world that we have to list this reason. They had to come out and say J.K. Rowling has nothing to do with this game, or very minimal input. And unpacking her stuff is a whole different can of worms. That's not has nothing to do with this podcast, so I'm not going to do it. But they did say that, so if that makes you guys feel any bit better about that game, I know some people saw that and just gave it a big old middle finger. I'm able to separate the creation from the creator, because if you know anything about what she is talking about and doing in the world right now, she's putting a lot of negative energy out there. It goes against the themes that she wrote about Harry Potter. What the Harry Potter books and stories about, ultimately, at the real crux of the issue. See what I did there? It's accepting people different than you. The Muggles, if you will, or not the Muggles. Well, I guess Muggles number one, but the Mudbloods, as they call them, the Muggle witches, or the witches or wizards that come from Muggle families. They don't have any actual previous magic blood. It just happens, and there's a pure part of that regime of people that want to see them eradicated. That they're not accepting them because they're different. Well, it's kind of ironic that she is doing something that's not accepting of people who are different, and we don't need that kind of thing in this world. We need to accept people. So, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, multiplayer alpha coming. It was last week, so you missed out on that. But they did show like a little tidbit of like the story gameplay. It looked kind of cool. I'm not really big into it. Like, it looked over the top. So if that's your thing, that's cool. They showed Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, some stuff with that. That looks pretty interesting and cool. I wonder what the hell's going on. I mean, who knows anymore? But what the hell's going on? Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. There's coming to PS5. A new Oddworld game coming to PS5. Demon Souls remake. That's gonna be a launch game, exclusive. Pretty neat. I'm not a Souls guy myself. They're not terrible games, but they're just not my cup of tea. So, different strokes for different folks. They announced Fortnite for PS5, so all you guys can rest easy. Fortnite's on the way, unless President Trump might have something to say about that. We'll see if he actually looks into that. We might have to make another episode about Trump v. video games, right? The PlayStation Plus collection. So if you have Plus and you have PS5, there's going to be a whole list of PS4 games that you're going to be able to download. And then there are a lot of great titles in there. I imagine a lot of the people who have PlayStations already own those. But if you're just a guy that likes to pick up, or gal, pick up Madden or Call of Duty, and you never really bothered to buy these, well, now's a chance to try them out. See what all the fuss is about. I saw like the Uncharted, the Last of Us, the first one. There was Fallout 4 was on there. A bunch of like maybe Horizon Zero Dawn was on there. I don't have the list in front of me, but there was a lot of them, a lot of cool games. Days Gone, that game was on there. So, and I imagine that list might change and grow. They have no interest in doing a Game Pass style program. They do have PlayStation Now, which is pretty similar, but they have no interest in putting their big first party titles directly onto PS Now, and they want you to go and buy it. And it's interesting because Sony is like, yeah, we don't see that viable, and Xbox is like the exact opposite. That's all they're gearing towards is Game Pass. And going forward, the future of Xbox is Game Pass. It's Game Pass. It's now on your phone. You can, if you have a Game Pass Ultimate thing, you can download Game Pass on your phone and play on your phone, stream it, and I tried it out, and it works. I played some Forza on there, and it was not my way, it wouldn't be the way that I want to play. But, you know, whether you're on PC or a console or mobile, you're going to get to be able to play your Xbox games. And then eventually, like, consoles, people are wondering, well, now Xbox doesn't care about selling consoles. And it's not their number one issue. No, it isn't. They want to have a product out there for you to have if you want to have a console. They're always going to do that, even if they eventually take out the disk drive completely, and they just have a machine that you can download the games or stream the games to your TV. They want you to be able to do that. So there's always going to be a product available. It's just no longer a chief focus, because the PC guys got their PC, they got their gateway into the Xbox world. If you want to do it just on your phone, that's cool too. They want to expand the places where you can play your Xbox games. PlayStation, they're like, buy the damn console, damn it. And that's pretty much it. Speaking of, then they announced the prices. Digital edition 400, disk drive 5. Exactly kind of what we thought. But then all hell broke loose. So within a couple hours after the event, so during the event, Sony didn't say anything about pre-orders. So I was thinking, oh, maybe they're going to announce that later, or maybe they'll do it tomorrow, or, you know, maybe that's still to come. They're going to announce it, and maybe it'll be after the Xbox pre-order thing. They want Xbox to do theirs first, and then they'll do theirs. Since Xbox had their whole leak, right? They had their whole the Xbox One, or the Xbox One. I'm sorry. Here I am, Freudian slip with all these Xbox consoles. Series S leaked with the release date, so then they made it official. That like that day, or that it leaked overnight, and they made it official, and then blah blah blah, and it was like, yeah, we were going to reveal this next week, but oh well, here we are. So now that was out there, you know, so they technically came out first. But no, Sony revealed through Jeff Keighley, not even on their thing. They could have put a thing up there at the end. Pre-orders start tomorrow, September 17th. But no, it was Jeff Keighley from the Game Awards said, hey, they're going to start tomorrow. Some retailers may start tonight. Well, I'll be damned if they didn't. And Walmart got up, and they were up there. And I missed Walmart and completely. And then I heard Target was up. The Target, I had one in my cart, but then we couldn't find the credit card that we were going to use. And then I got the notification from Best Buy. Best Buy had one in the cart, and it would not let me check out. Continuously would not let me check out. And so, yeah, that was the saga that night of just everybody posting their shit and everybody going nuts, and they can't get it. A lot of people did get a pre-order, and that's awesome. I didn't. Most people that I know did not get one. I know one person that got one, and he's a lucky SOB. But I'm a little irritated about it, because they said it wouldn't be a surprise. Number one, they didn't say it during their event. It was going to be the next day, but they didn't bother saying that. So they didn't give us a heads up like they said they were going to. Second of all, the retailers pushed it out because Walmart says, why wait? Do it now. And I wasn't ready. No one was ready. I guess a good thing, I think Rich of Review Tech USA had this mindset of, well, the scalpers weren't ready either. Well, they sure as hell were ready after that stuff kind of came out, and they got their shit together, and they got all up on Amazon. Amazon was out. So the next day, I believe it was like, what was that? Thursday, Walmart announced, hey, we're going to have more pre-orders starting at 9 p.m. I was ready. Had the shit ready, man. We were ready to go. Get this pre-order, damn it. I was refreshing that page. As soon as that 59 turned into a 9 o'clock refresh, it took 30 seconds to refresh instead of the 4.5 that it was taking before, because we got pretty decent internet. Boom, there, got it. In cart. Started doing the thing. It went to process the payment. Didn't work. They were already gone. Less than a minute. And, of course, then that Thursday, too, or the day after the PlayStation thing, I'm starting to get my days mixed up, so I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. It was a long week. Within like the 3080s, those graphics cards, they sold out. So it's starting to make me think that maybe we should reevaluate, especially in the age of the pandemic where everyone's going to try and do everything online, that we should reevaluate how we do retail pre-orders. And I understand that number one, you got to have bot protection. There's no reason why you shouldn't have bot protection if you're a website, in my opinion. But I'm willing to pay a little bit extra on a product, a couple dollars. Hey, to ensure you get your thing, but. Makes me wonder if we couldn't do something a little bit more organized, like Ticketmaster. When you go to order a ticket from Ticketmaster, you go in and you select your seat. You go in, and I'm in section 111, row 7, seat 3. When I go to buy this ticket, I put this ticket in my cart. I want this one. This is a cool seat. This seat, I went and saw Metallica a couple years ago, and it was $135 to go see them where I was going to sit. And they hold that ticket for like 5-10 minutes, 7 minutes for to let you get through the checkout process. They hold that ticket. That ticket is mine unless I fail to check out. If I leave that website, it just puts it back into the queue, into the public pool for option. So if Walmart, Best Buy, Target, or whoever, GameStop, why can't we have like a site redesign where we can have, if you're able to get one in your cart, it locks the number of thing, like it's in your cart, it's yours until you finish the checkout. You have a timer, so that way, hopefully, you can complete the damn transaction. Because otherwise, it's like going to the store. Say I'm going to Best Buy and I grab a PS5, put it in my cart, and I'm walking up to the. I was cool. I got through the door, went up there to the pile, got one, put it, or I have it in my hands. I'm in the checkout aisle. That would be like me sitting there waiting to check out because there's already a line to check out, and I'm just waiting to pay. And then somebody walking up from the store and taking it from my hands and saying, I got to take this. That guy up there by the door already paid for this because he got in line. Because like, wait a minute. No. I got it, though. And like, no, you didn't. He got it. So it's kind of unfair. And we didn't know, man. We didn't know about all this pre-order stuff. And then, of course, some GameStops are doing pre-orders. Some GameStops started doing pre-orders the afternoon before the PlayStation event. That would have been cool to know. Thank you, PlayStation, for just letting me down, man. Like, GameStop's not the number one place I would go, but to go to a store to actually try to pre-order it, give me a heads up, give me a damn date, give me a time. Maybe I can't make that time. That's then my problem. But if you're not going to tell me when, where, and why, well, that seems to be like a problem that you helped create. Now, they did apologize. They came out and said that could have went better. And trust me, there's going to be more consoles to come. You're going to have more chances to buy the console before the end of the year. Walmart originally said starting on the 22nd, they were going to do in-store pre-orders. They then canceled that and said, no, you're just going to have to wait till launch day and come and get it. Because they want to avoid the big fiasco of a lot of people lining up and not doing social distancing and controlling the volume of people in the store. And I get that. That's the age that we live in. But it's also frustrating as hell. Anyways, now that that's done, and we're Xbox was like, hey guys, our pre-orders are going to be on the 22nd, starting at 10 a.m., at all retailers. We're going to have a countdown, let you know. Be there, be square. Then the day before, on the 21st, Xbox announces the acquisition of Bethesda. What? That blew my mind. That completely blew my mind. there have been talks about Microsoft trying to acquire some of the Konami IP, Metal Gear, Silent Hill, all that kind of stuff, Castlevania. And then there was talks of Microsoft being interested in buying the Warner Brothers game studios, and they're having access to their properties and stuff like that. It's like, and then Warner Brothers is like, never mind, we're not selling. Oops, my bad, guys. Didn't mean to put that on the market. But it's like nobody saw this coming. This broke the internet for a day. It was like, what? Bethesda, think about it, though. Like, Bethesda's not even just a team. They're a publisher that has, I don't know, 5-6 teams. I saw a picture the other day, just yesterday when all this stuff kind of went down. And it was all of the teams that were now going to be a part. Yeah, here it is, of Xbox, and it is Arcane, Machine Games, ZeniMax Online, Bethesda Game Studios, id, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roadhouse Studios. Yeah, Xbox just acquired all that. They now own the Elder Scrolls. They now own Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein, Starfield, the new Starfield game, Evil Within, Prey, Dishonored. Whoa. This was a move. And they paid for it. It was $7.5 billion with a big B. B-I-L-L. Bill. Now, also, Phil Spencer said that they're going to fulfill the obligations that Bethesda had made to PlayStation, because was that Clockwork or Deathloop, Deathloop, and some other game. I can't remember it. Oh, come on, Brando. There's like 2 games that they got. I can't remember them. Damn it. Yeah, I know Deathloop was like one of the first, but like they're going to be supposed to be coming to PS5 first, and so yeah, that's going to happen. Those games are going to release over there first, and Xbox doesn't have to do that. They have the money to be like, yeah, no, we're going to breach those. We're just going to release them here at Game Pass. But no, like, nope, that deal was made before. We are now going to own Bethesda, but that's going to happen. And then Phil said the other games are going to release on other consoles on a by title basis. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that means. I saw Colin Moriarty say that Bethesda is still going to be basically a publisher underneath a publisher, that they're still going to be making their games, and there's a good possibility that they'll still come out on the other systems, and that's a possibility. I mean, PlayStation literally announced last week that Fallout 4 is going to be a part of the PS Plus experience. So I definitely can see them still putting out Fallout and Elder Scrolls on the PlayStation, but literally now that Xbox owns ZeniMax Media, the parent company, they own Bethesda and all those other studios, every single one of these games, other than the ones that are already slated to go to the PlayStation first, could go to Game Pass day one. They've also announced that EA Play, or EA Access, EA Access, going to Game Pass at no extra charge. Game Pass is getting beefed up to become the ultimate thing to have if you're a gamer. It blows every other service. It blows PlayStation's Now service out of the water, because you're getting every single first-party Microsoft game day one. And that's the only reason how I got to play Horizon, Forza Horizon 4. I didn't go out and buy it. It was on Game Pass, so I downloaded it. Like, let's try this. I'm not a racing guy, but it's fun as shit, and I got to play it. Cannot be understated, because you get that Game Pass Ultimate for $15 a month. You got a game collection on your console, game collection on your PC, game collection on your phone, and all that stuff is cloud safe too. So it just, wherever you go, it just pulls the save over. Welcome to the future of gaming. It's here. and it's Game Pass. So yeah, guys, lots of things happening. Pre-order fiasco, crazy Xbox news. The Xbox pre-orders went on sale today. They're already gone, or at least like online they were. So if any of you got the cool Xbox, cool. I was looking at them to see if I wanted to try my hand at getting one of those, like I did last week with the PlayStation. There's really nothing coming out for the Xbox console proper that I want to play. I'll probably get one because as a collector and gamer, I'm going to get the latest model of a console eventually, but I'm not made of money. So like, I want to play the PlayStation. I want to play Spider-Man. I could get it on the PS4 though. But if I'm going to get a PS5, I want to play I want to play Spider-Man. And there's some other PS4 games I can play in backwards compatible till more games come out, but I have historically gone with PlayStation first, and then slowly got the other ones to kind of play catch up. Now, now that Bethesda is now bought by Microsoft, and these new games are going to be coming out eventually, like the new Elder Scrolls and Starfield, whatever that game's going to look like, who knows? If those games come right to Xbox, I kind of play those games on the Xbox anyway, so that's a good reason to go over there and buy it, especially if they're not going to come to other consoles. We don't know, but it's definitely now a Xbox. The one thing that they were lacking was the first party stuff. They had Halo, which hasn't been what Halo used to be. They have Gears, which isn't what Gears used to like. I'm not saying those games are bad. I'm just saying that those games are far into their life cycle, and they're not as energized as with a new release. Like the new games come out. I'm not saying that they're bad. That's not for me to decide because I'm not a diehard fan of them. But they don't seem to even amongst those friends that I have that play those series, they're not really too excited about them. Unlike on the PlayStation side or even the Nintendo side, every time that there's a huge new Nintendo or a PlayStation exclusive coming out, there seems to be a lot of excitement. There was a lot of stuff this year with Final Fantasy Last of Us, whether or not that was positive or negative for you, but Ghost of Tsushima also did very well on that front as well. And then the Nintendo, for some reason, everyone was on lockdown playing Animal Crossing. So to say they didn't have a success is like would be a complete total lie. But for Microsoft, you've had Forza, Halo, and Gears with some few others sprinkled in here and there. But now you got the Forza Horizon team doing a new Fable. You now have Obsidian doing a new game. By the way, with Obsidian and Bethesda, there's been a huge desire for a sequel to New Vegas. Obsidian made New Vegas for Bethesda, but after that, they haven't really been on the same page, and Bethesda doesn't really even acknowledge that game. Now they're both under the same umbrella. How cool would that be to finally, once Bethesda gets their new, Todd Howard said that the overhaul on the engine that they're doing for Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield is the biggest overhaul since Oblivion. That is great news. Super huge news. And I hope that it is a true improvement. Give that shit to Obsidian. Let them mess with the engine and let them make a Fallout game and set in the New Vegas setting. I'd be there day one. If I didn't own an Xbox yet, that'd make me buy an Xbox. They are stacking stuff over there on the Xbox brand, and they're investing in the games. That is the one thing. They're investing in the games because the games are the product, instead of it being where the PlayStation model is, we have all these great teams and these exclusives to get you to buy our console. Xbox failed at that. Hardcore. Their best-selling console, the Xbox 360, narrowly got beat by PlayStation's worst-selling console, the PS3. It does work for PlayStation. It does seem to really work. So Xbox, knowing that they are going into another round of this, getting ready to maybe get beaten again, even though their console is a little bit more powerful. Or so they say. Now they pivoted. And they're like, we're going to focus on games as a service. with Game Pass, where we're going to have our console, you're going to have your PC, you're going to have your phone, but you're going to be able to play your games. And we're going to make the money off the service. As I said, the future is here, folks. And that future is Game Pass. That's pretty much all I got. This is a pretty short episode. I'm going to be getting into a more committed release schedule. And I'm still planning on doing deep dives on both Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect coming forward. So expect those here in the coming weeks. Unless there's huge news, those will be the next episodes that I do. As far as getting a new console, I'll keep you guys updated, I guess. If I am able to snag a pre-order, if I'm just going to try and get one or whatever. My enthusiasm about that has definitely died down since it was such a disaster. It kind of just really made me depressed. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out the Game Addicts podcast and giving me one of my biggest and most successful years here on the show as far as downloads go. That has really caught me off guard, and I don't deserve it, especially this year for as lackadaisical as I've been posting. And granted, that's a lot of personal issues kind of going on in my life. It is difficult with my mindset to get in the mode of coming on here just to talk to you guys on a one-on-one basis because ever since Mike has kind of backed off a little bit as far as being on the show as much, I could call him and say, hey, do you want to do a show? But I also don't want to bug him, you know. And I have a few other buddies, Nate and Tyler, are sometimes available to come on as well and chat with me. But I need to get on here and I need to sit here and talk to you guys because I need to get back to this. I need to get back into the groove and get comfortable with it and not let my own insecurities take hold of me and make me feel like to where I can't do this because I can. It's just getting past that battle inside my own head and having the energy. Because if I'm going to sit back here and talk to you guys, you know, I didn't have a script. I had the list of the PlayStation stuff, and because I wanted to remember. I didn't want to miss any games. But I don't typically do a script. I don't typically do a checkbox of stuff that go down. I just talk. I just riff, and that's been the heart of this podcast. And other than the deep dives, I do listen to the deep dives because I don't want to miss anything. But me sitting here and riffing on the news and just giving my opinion, that's been a part of this podcast since day one. So that's what it's going to be going forward as well. So once again, I thank all you guys for checking out this podcast wherever you do. If this is your very first time and you made it all the way through and you want to check out I can't talk. I got through all this podcast and now my brain's shutting down. If you want to check out this podcast, you can do so on all the different podcasting platforms. We're everywhere now. We're even on Amazon Music now. I haven't got a chance to go check that out yet, but it was submitted. We are on like Apple, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, all those great places, as well as YouTube. Yeah, you could tune in to see this really kind of like badly lit green screen version of me standing in front of the stars. So I also do gameplay stuff, and I'm going to get back to doing that here soon. It's all just about time. Right now, my youngest son naps back here, and so that's an issue. I can only be back here for a certain amount of time because it's a nap. We sometimes move him to another room to nap, but that's a whole process and getting him in there. Sometimes he doesn't sleep as well in there, and I get death glares, you know. But I was playing through Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 1 and 2. I need to do 3 now, and I do still plan on doing that here very, very, very soon. The other thing is that apparently there's a Mass Effect trilogy supposedly coming out at some point, and maybe I don't know, because they've never confirmed it, and there's just rumors and rumors and rumors and rumors. But the thing is that the rumors don't really stop. They just keep adding to, or maybe this one little thing is wrong, or this little thing is wrong. So it makes me feel like that it holds some water. But I'm definitely looking forward to that, playing remastered versions of these on the PS4 or Xbox One X, wherever I decide to do it. But that's going to do it for me here on the show. Again, check us out on all the podcasting platforms and on YouTube. We're on social medias at Game Addicts Play on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm trying to be more active there. And, yeah, guys, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next time here on the Game Addicts Podcast. I've been Brando. Until next time. Game on, guys. Have a good one.